What is up, y'all? What is up? We are on day 36. I do need to get a way better camera, bro. I'm sorry. This camera quality is it's from my laptop, so it's like it's what could you really expect? It's not the best camera quality, but it's not too bad neither. I wouldn't say it's the worst. I think it could be worse, but I really need to end up getting like a whole lot better camera, which is something I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to buy this Christmas. Who knows, right? We'll never really be able to see if that's gonna be the case. But hey, thank y'all for tuning in with me today. I did hop on a little bit later. I hope to see how long we can end up staying on the stream. Give me 1 second because I have to text somebody. Gotta let them know when to come by because we gotta end up doing this TV thing. So we're gonna do it today. It has to get done today. So let me see real quick. Alrighty, we gotta get this whole study session in. We're still currently learning about RAID. So that is super fun. Sorry, my lighting is a little bit off, but I just wanted to talk about how yesterday, like, I'm so happy because yesterday was simply my first ever donation. They donated $5, and YouTube ends up taking a cut from that, so I ended up getting like $2.45 from it, and I think that is just super dope, man. Because like even get like a donation, like that literally means that whoever did that, like they donated for a reason. You know what I mean? And I feel like I love that, to know that this is like, I'm really just trying to hopefully motivate people and for people to just kind of see that this is a journey. You know what I mean? And hopefully I can continue to do that. I gotta get this camera set up done. Right now, for some reason, I guess I was eating popcorn. I'm eating muffins. I'm just doing the most right now. I got chips. I mean, not chips, popcorn. Sorry. Let me real quick. I need to change what is going on this screen up here. I don't know why everything is like fast forwarded. I'm also trying to, I like to have the chat up here sometimes as well, but we're gonna have to jump right into this, get into RAID. I'm so pissed because I forgot I was supposed to upload a video today. So if I do upload it, it's probably gonna be past 8, like maybe 10, which is fine. That's not too bad either. But let's go and get back into the studying. I gotta go and see exactly, it ended up snowing over here. So that kind of sucked. It's quite cold outside. I did end up going out to eat. We went to Olive Garden, so I thought that was pretty nice. I gotta go check my. Actually, no, I think I bookmarked it. Did I? I bookmarked it. Well, I bookmarked the book. What is up, Julian? What is up? So I bookmarked the book. I didn't bookmark the other section that I was doing with RAID. I meant to look up RAID off camera, y'all, but then there was just so much that ended up happening yesterday as well, so I wasn't able to study outside of the camera, even though it was my day off. It's tough. It really does get tough. What exactly am I looking at? I said about to go to bed. Am I still doing storage? Currently, I am. I really want to get off of storage, but I just have no time to study outside of my live stream, so it kind of sucks. But I think I'm close to finishing RAID. I think I was just doing, I believe, I would think I was just taking notes on RAID 6. So I gotta make sure I can find it on this book, and I gotta make sure I can find it on this website, because I've been kind of bouncing back and forth. But normally I don't end up going live around this time. I just have been doing it on my days off. But tomorrow, because I do go to work tomorrow, it should be 12:30 p.m. EST that I should be going live. So my fault for going live at this time. So we got to get back into RAID, and we just have to finish RAID 6, and then I think I'm done currently. So I remember a really nice blog post that I wanted to show you. Can't link it though. Damn, that sucks. I don't know why they don't allow links in the comment section. I feel like it's weird. You said it's from Planet Skill blog. Okay, what exactly is the title? So I could probably go and look that up some point. Am I live? Oh yeah, I am. Okay, sorry. Oh wait, I also forgot to. I gotta switch this to day 36. Day 36. Alrighty, here we go. I don't know why I have so much energy today. My energy is like on a 10. I'm just ready to run. So RAID 6 is similar to RAID 5 with 2 parity disks. Let's see how this one says that. It's an advanced version of RAID 5 that provides... Oh, I think I'm here. I think I was in the examples. I think I already read all this, because they didn't give me no examples about RAID 6. It's the only definition they gave for RAID 6. Other than that, this just starts talking about the other RAIDs, and then talking about different places in the book that you could go if you want to see dedicated RAID systems or MD So for RAID 5 and 6, you must use this MD to implement software RAID. So it's kind of like, yeah, you gotta jump all over the book for that one. I think I just took this note, and the only things I wanted to take were probably some of this here, and then hop back into the book. I've been hopping back and forth, y'all. Oh, I have the camera off. My fault. My fault about this one. And it's not even like start virtual camera. I always forget this part. There we go. Now y'all can see me take some notes here. Kind of wanted to zoom in a little. Oh, I can zoom in. I didn't even know. I was just trying stuff. Let me see real quick. He said the author literally, it has the best visuals. The title is IO devices in latency. It has some of the best visuals I've ever seen. The author literally created a hard drive animation in JavaScript. Crazy stuff. That's insane. Now, yeah, so I'm definitely gonna have to go and check that out at some point. I feel like I want to finish RAID 6, and then I'll probably go and see how that looks, because that must be insane. But yes, man, I wish I got a lot of this done. And what sucks too is like I don't think I can even study anymore after this either, because after I do this little study session on live, I have to go and return the TV that I was supposed to do yesterday, but I stayed on live too long, so I couldn't. So now I gotta go and return the TV, probably replace it, and do that whole shebang, which should be like an hour. And we gotta start doing that at like 7:30, 7:40. And then we also got to pretty much like install that TV. Yes, I'm assuming that should probably be an hour. And then from there, it might be 8-ish. No, I'll say it might be 9, because we're probably going to get there by 8. So it might be like 9-ish something. I should have enough time at 9. But then there's always something new that I got to do. It's like maybe I got to clean real quick, because I don't know if everything's cleaned. And then I might have to, I believe I did the laundry, so at least we don't got to do any of that. But there's like, it's like always something pops up where I'm like, damn, I can't study this. And it's always like stuff I can't skip on either, because, you know, house stuff has to come first before you get study at that point. Like if you got some chores, some stuff you got to do, you know, that stuff got to come first. Like today, I forgot that it had snowed, so I had to sit there for about 30 minutes or maybe 15 minutes. It felt like 30 minutes though. And I had to sit there and pretty much take off the damn snow off the car before we could even leave. So I wanted to leave the house by 4, and we ended up leaving the house by like 5. It was just crazy. I was like, damn, went out to eat and just kind of got out now. So that's why I'm live. So yeah, anyways, I'm off to sleep. Happy study. See you later. All right, see you later, Julian. I'm definitely going to check that video out. I wonder how cool that's about to look. But yeah, man, so everything pretty much was just going crazy. I feel like my nose is dummy stuffy. But hopefully we can end up returning this TV, and hopefully, you know, we're safe on the road, because I believe it's a little bit icy. It's a little bit icy, but we gotta get rid of this damn TV, man. I wonder if I could actually fit in the car now that I'm thinking about it, because I believe he has to lay the back seats flat. So I'm not too sure. Might be a little bit risky if we bring 2 people on that ride. So the reliability is providing greater fault tolerance than RAID 5. We do got to get into a little bit later today. We got to get into that little bit of a job search. I finally feel like I found a couple of them that I would not mind applying to. But like I said, normally when they do leave out applications like that, most of the time they don't really want to hire, you know, freshers. But most of the time too, a lot of these applications are getting filled. They put out new applications, I feel like, by August, and I kind of missed them all. So there's not too much out there, but even so, it's best to kind of reach out to the company itself, see if you can intern, see if you can end up getting some sort of experience. But can't really let you know what I'm going to end up doing until tomorrow specifically, because tomorrow is when I'll find out if I'm going to enroll into a certain program. And if I enroll into this program, I obviously am not going to be able to manage a second job working for IT until after the program, which the program shouldn't be that long. It should be about like 3 to 4 months, right? But if I don't enroll into this program, then I could legitimately, I'm probably going to make a video on me building my resume, and then eventually going to be applying to these certain companies. So definitely it's going to be super fun to finally get into that type of stuff. And it won't be bad either if I get into the program, because if I get into this certain program that I'm trying to do, that could become a whole separate series that I could release probably a year later, you know, and kind of give myself a little bit of a break from YouTube content because I'm literally sitting there and documenting a whole series for another time. So it's gonna be pretty lit. That's why I really love the concept of this channel, man. Like just take y'all through my journey and whatever I'm possibly doing to hopefully inspire other people to believe in themselves and believe that you could sit there and do and whatever you end up putting your mind to. Then I'll never forget, there was like this dude who joined my live stream, and I felt so bad because he joined my live stream like he used to be in my live streams a lot, but then I really stopped seeing him pop up. But then turned out for some reason, all of his comments don't pop up in my chat. So I don't know if he ever like said something, because normally when that happens, it's probably because someone said something that was a little iffy. So YouTube kind of decides to not show me the chat, but everyone else can kind of see it. So I didn't notice. I'm like, wow, this whole time, like I kind of, you know, haven't really seen this dude. Boom, a couple of days ago, I actually seen him in the chat, but I caught it too late because he didn't pop up in this chat. He popped up like on the screens chat. So I wasn't able to really see it. And then he wrote something like, see, ignoring me again after so many days and I haven't even done anything to you or something like that. And I was like, oh shoot. So after I seen it, I was probably like 30 minutes late and I'm like, oh shoot, my bad. Like for some reason your chat isn't showing up in my chat section. He ended up leaving, and ever since I haven't seen him. So he must have really like dipped, but I felt so bad. His name was Regime. So Regime, if you still watch these videos, if you're still there, I don't know why your messages weren't popping up, but if you're gone because of that, my fault, man. My fault. I felt so bad, bro. I was like, what the hell? Like, I've literally never seen, and then for him to say ignoring it again, that means like he must have been commenting obviously before, and I really like just haven't been seeing it. So we finished the raid aspect of things from here. Let me see the rest of the storage stuff we got to get into. I think I've started to get a way better understanding of what raid means all of a sudden. Don't know why. I think I would hope I'm getting a better understanding. Now I need to find external drives and SSD cloning, and then we need to get into backup. So let me do external drives because my phone's about to die, so I need to hurry up and take this down. Sorry, I had to sneeze. External drives and SSD cloning. Just at least write that down for now. And then the other one is backups. And hopefully we can finish this storage section right now by just kind of going through it. So backups and imaging. So my phone, let that go. So we got a clone, or to clone a drive to an external SSD. I don't know if that's what they're saying. It says and SSD cloning. So it's supposed to be separate. So let me do something like this, because since the phone's gonna die, I'm not gonna have this note. I'm just going to look up. I don't know exactly what they want me to learn about external drives. PC, what should I know? Because they're not really telling me anything deep about what I'm supposed to be understanding. So when using external drives, I like the AI spot. Let me go and try using the book here to see if maybe they have a better explanation. So let's do external drives. Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing at all. What about if I do just drives? Disk drives. Yeah, so yeah, we're probably not going to be able to use the book for this one. External drives for PCs, why should we be doing it? Oh, they're just hard drives. Oops, my fault. I don't know why they called it external drives. That threw me off. So they're talking about hard drives. That's probably why I didn't see it. Oh no, they still don't have it. They ain't playing. There's 0 out of 5. Oh, so there is hard drive. Why the hell is it acting like that? So they do have hard drives, but let me go to the first time it's mentioned. Oh yeah, no, it's barely mentioned. Yeah, we're gonna have to stick to here. Let's go to the AI section because I don't really know. Because it's a beginner's guide on how to external, or how to, what the hell? A beginner guide to external hard drives, how to set them up. So yeah, I guess that's not really the wave. External hard drives, top uses. Someone explained to me how external hard drives work. I could do that, but that's Reddit, meaning anyone could straight up answer that. I guess I'm gonna have to go with the AI loop thing here, which doesn't look too bad. So in using external drives, you should know how to connect the user. Actually, is my charger over here? I completely forgot that it's over here, so I could hopefully save this phone so that I could read some chats. Let's see how this works. Then this charger's also just been acting up as well. But let's get into this. So when using external drives, you should know how to connect, use, and safely eject them. So I guess that's currently what they're probably wanting to talk to me about. I also think they're probably talking about the storage side of things. So if it's not talking about the necessary storage capacity, connection type, drive type, I mean, I guess in a way it's getting to the storage side of things, but I don't know. I don't know. So you should know. So for external drives, because it doesn't really say exactly what in detail they want me to get into specifically with external drives or how I should know anything. So I'm just going to assume that it's probably the stuff that they have wrote here, which is probably how to connect one, which I think is simple, especially because it's external. You just plug it into the USB, whichever USB is correct. That's the only thing where I feel like if I were to take a test on it, I might mess up because I don't necessarily know exactly what the USB or like what the exact names are for the plug sockets. I just know that in the end, I'm going to plug it in where it fits. You know what I mean? Like I would never explain to somebody like, all right, you're gonna put it into the USB 3. I'd be like, what? Because I'm sure as like even me right now, I would be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what the USB 3 is. I'm just gonna plug it in where it fits. You know what I mean? And then if there's like a specific side you have to plug it in, if that were to ever be the case, I would say plug it in the front where it fits. That's literally all I would say. Cause I don't. I would assume someone doesn't know what that is, and then on like I said for me, I don't know what that is. So it's funny. It's funny. But if it were to be on a quiz and they were actually asking for the actual connection type, you lost me. I mean, I only know a couple. So I'll probably, instead of saying the USB 3, I'll just be like the USB. And then they'll be like, yeah, no, ma'am. You're wrong. But I think I could do pretty well when it comes to the CompTIA A+. I think I would. At least in the core 1, I think is what they call it, or whatever. The first test for the CompTIA A+ is really about hardware. I think I would do very well when it comes to the hardware section. But when it comes to anything other than that section, that's probably where it would be a little bit more difficult. Sincerely, I know they're going to have storage questions, which is why I'm still a little bit focused on this particular hardware side of stuff, I guess, if you would consider this, right? Storage, external drives as hardware. Even though you're more likely going to be using an SSD regardless, but some people, they do have external drives, so it's something that you got to make sure you know. Something you got to make sure you have knowledge in. And you're going to also need to know these susceptible to damage and data loss from physical harm. You should always back up important data to a secondary location. So let me just make sure I take a note on that one. But so far, I think I've been doing pretty well for the CompTIA studying. And I do want to take a couple of practice tests, particularly for the hardware side of things. But I feel like I'm just confident, man. I think the only thing I could really do on the hardware side of things is to just make sure that I'm sitting there and I'm actually getting hands-on experience now. I'm going to actually need some hands-on experience. By the way, if you're just joining in and you want to see me do some job searching, we're going to end up getting there very soon, very shortly. Just stick around until we get there. So saying how to use an external drive, of course, this is just connect and plug. Right, safe ejection. Always safely eject the drive from your computer before plugging it to prevent data corruption. Excuse me? Safely eject the drive from your computer before unplugging it to prevent data corruption. I don't even think I've ever done that in my life. But granted, I don't know if I've ever had an external drive, so maybe that's why. But connect and use plug drive into your PC using a USB cable, and it should appear as an additional drive for storing. Understood? That's simple. You don't really need to look into that. Factors to consider when buying is to look at the storage capacity. I feel like that currently was what I was supposed to look at. but it's okay. We could just take a note on this particular section. Storage capacity, choose the capacity based on your needs, measured in terabytes. So I'm gonna go measured in terabytes, which I kind of figured. I'm gonna just put TB because sometimes I could be a little bit, on that side. SSDs may use Thunderbolt for even faster speeds. There's different types, drive types. You could decide between the SSD or the traditional hard drive disk. Reliability and durability, portability is another one. Risk could be this. I think the only thing I want to know about external drives is the storage aspect side of things. And they don't even have like an AI mode for it. I want them, because I feel like they want them to teach me a little bit about the storage. So they offer a way to expand the storage into larger drives, and they don't really get to the point. Maybe that's why. So we can kind of go to SSD cloning at this point and see what that has to do. SSD cloning, it's not software. SSD cloning, storage, PC. I know I'm looking things up a little bit weird, but it's just because they kind of didn't tell me exactly how deep to go when it comes to these courses, or not these courses, but these modules that I've created for myself. For some reason, they just want me to learn what cloning an SSD is. So I did SDD. And we're gonna do this, probably type or write cloning, perfection. So this is creating an exact bootable replica. What the hell? I can't believe you could do this. Replica of an existing drive onto a new one. Oh, never mind. Okay, I think I get it. But when it said like cloning, it made me think like it's creating something. I guess yeah, it's cloning because it's creating something, but it's saying from an existing drive to another drive. So I'm like, oh, okay, because I thought it was like just going to clone it. Like I didn't think it was going to be like an actual other drive. It's like you're just copying and pasting at that point. But onto a new one, so that's nice to know. By the way, if y'all are new here, man, I've been documenting this journey for about 36 days, and I plan on going for however long it is until I could become a network engineer. And I'm very passionate about this. I've also done this for web design, where I wanted to do it as a side hustle, in which I ended up doing that. And I ended up documenting that journey for about 7 months. So if you think you're just going to hop in here and probably assume that, oh, I'm not going to stay consistent, trust me. I did that other journey for 7 months straight, documented the whole thing, and from day 120 to day 200, I live streamed every day, almost every day, to get to that number. So definitely stick around, and we've been doing it straight so far. Sometimes I'll miss a day, but so far during this journey, I have not missed a day. So make sure you end up hitting that sub button and join me on this journey, man. If you want to see someone grind their hardest to passing this CompTIA A+, to eventually landing an IT support job, to getting hands-on some real technical things, this is the place to be. And there'll always be content because I'm on live every day documenting it. And then of course, with YouTube videos. I also have like a YouTube video series that's on this as well. Should be a video coming out later tonight, probably at 10 p.m. If not, it should be coming out tomorrow. Make sure you definitely go and tune in. So the SSD without the hassle of a fresh system installation. So that's good. That is good for fresh system. I just can't wait, man, because I really feel like I'm super confident, at least when it comes to the first half of that CompTIA Plus. It's the second half when it gets into, networking and it gets into the basics of, what is it called, software. And that's where it's going to get quite difficult for me. So source and destination SSD, the new SSD should have enough capacity to hold all the used data from the source drive. Ideally, it should be the same size or larger. Connection method, internal, external connection. General cloning process. Maybe this is what they want me to look at? What the hell is this? The clone an SSD. Oh, okay, so I guess they're teaching me how to clone one. I don't know if this is what they want. Like, is this going to pop up on the test? Like, I would hope not. I would simply hope not. I mean, maybe it will in the sense of, like, it probably is going to tell me what would you do with your SSD. Like, maybe it's, like, a weird question. So maybe it's not in the sense of, like, how would you clone an SSD? but I think it would be more like, what would you do if this happened? And then maybe one of the multiple choices would be like clone your SSD, possibly something like that. Who knows? But they're telling me this would possibly be on the test. Granted, I am having. I think the person that I basically worked on this course with ChatGPT. I love how I said the person. That's crazy. But I worked on this course with ChatGPT, and we kind of came up with like a module to learning the hardware side of things for IT support. So I'm hoping that they're getting me used to the stuff that I'm supposed to be used to, but you never really know if they take you on that path. It would be nice if there was like an online free course or something, or just a cheaper course, because I wouldn't have minded doing the course. I think it was Google IT supports course. I really wanted to do that course, y'all, but they end up charging like literally $50 a month. And so imagine if it takes you about, and then first of all, one of their appeals is that they'll give you a discount on the CompTIA, right? But then they sit there and they pretty much charge you $50 a month. So let's say it takes you 3 months to end up getting that done. That would be $150 that you paid. But then they're only taking off from the CompTIA for like maybe $200 to $100 off the CompTIA. So are you really giving me a discount? Not really, because if it takes me 3 months to get this cert from y'all, I practically just paid what I would have paid in full for the CompTIA anyway. So it's kind of like not even smart. Like, they do crazy stuff. Unless you think you can get it done in like a day. I currently do too much in my day to be able to do that. So it was kind of crazy for them to even like expect that. I was like, damn. So nope, I can't do all that. I would have to go a different route there. So we're almost done here with the internal connection, and then once we kind of get done here, I'm going to go hop for that job hunt, y'all. It's gonna be super lit. If your desktop PC has an available M2 slot, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these things that they make me take notes on, I always gotta remind myself, like, some of this isn't gonna be something I need to know mentally. It's kind of like just, a lot of it is gonna be once I get hands on, I will understand it. You know what I mean? Like, just reading a paper sometimes, it's not really going to help. Or reading from, the notebook, from the computer, it's not really gonna help. You might need to get hands on. I might need to get hands on sooner than I thought. But I just cannot wait because I really want to purchase like a desktop. I don't care if it's broken or works or whatever, at least for $150 or less. And just kind of open it up, close it, and just see if I could point out what each part is, especially with the wiring. I want to learn more about the wiring. Well, the wiring. I'm gonna say wirely because I'm writing simultaneously. But I want to learn more about the wiring inside of a desktop, and I think just getting hands on is going to have to be the wave, and I cannot wait to do that with y'all. That's going to be super fun. I'm gonna be on live doing it. And I'm gonna have a nice little good YouTube video coming out as I do that as well. But laptops are a little bit more scary. I want to do desktops first, but eventually we're gonna jump to probably some broken laptops and kind of open it up, see what we could do. It would be crazy if we tried to fix them. But sometimes they really do be having some like broken stuff that's not fixable. That's not the point for me, in the beginning at least. I really want to just kind of see if I could point out what each thing is and just learn from just getting hands-on, being able to document that as a lab. You said, what are the vibes? I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you. Like, what are the vibes? I think you would have to feel it. You would have to see what the vibes are. But it's supposed to be a nice, well, I'll say what my intention for my channel is I want to hopefully inspire people that if they want to study for something or learn something or whatever, no matter how busy your day possibly is or whatever is coming through, I want to inspire people that you could do whatever you put your mind to. That currently is what my goal is, because I've met too many people in my life that kind of count themselves out from learning something new or trying to do something that's better for them, because they just either feel like they're too dumb, or they feel like they're too behind, or they think they don't have enough time. And so I just like to hop on here, especially an hour after work a day, because I do work very often. I'm a very busy person outside of this content, always doing something, right? And I feel like I just really hope to continue to do this, hop on here to hopefully inspire people. but also too, so that I could hopefully become a software engineer at some point. But of course, you got to kind of go down that path of help desk, IT support, going down those things. So like, I would hope that this channel can bring that to some people. But I do have a deeper goal, which is actually just learning, truly learning what I'm learning. I want to get the CompTIA plus. I want to, land a help desk role. I want to do like all of that. Get truly into it because it's just a passion for me. And build computers. I would love to build computers. Like the one thing with IT, which I don't understand why people count IT out, is that there's so much different side hustles that you could do when you really learn about the technology and you learn about how to, like, you could do repairing as a side hustle. You could do PC building as a side hustle. You could do anything like with networking in people's houses or whatever as a side hustle. And I think that's where a lot of it makes me feel joyful in it, because it's like not only is there a main path that you can go down, like an actual career, but there's a lot of side things that you could do from it too that can really be beneficial for yourself. It says watching the stream while eating let me see if I can pronounce that right. You said is it carne asada fries? I could have said that wrong. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds good. It sounds good. Says that's real. I'm actually a self-taught web developer, currently coding my own site from scratch. Deployment coming soon. Hey, that's what's up, man. I've actually currently I don't really like doing like full-blown apps when it comes to making websites, because I do also make websites as well. I like to do it on the side, and I plan to continue to make that more of like a side hustle for me. But I think currently what I've been doing with these websites is I like to make websites in particular for my help desk journey or my IT journey. I like to make websites that kind of teach IT stuff, because eventually another thing I want to get down or do down the line as I continue to go further with my IT work, I want to basically create courses for people that's like way cheaper, but that can teach people how to learn IT. So I'm currently like working on that, even though I haven't learned everything yet, because for one, it really freshens up my web dev skills. Because once you stop, it kind of is like riding a bike, but not really at the same time. It's a little bit difficult. So I've been trying to keep those skills a little bit up there. And I made my first website that has to do with IT support, so I thought it was pretty lit. I meant to do that website today, but today might be a different video. Might be a little bit of an emotional video, but I have a bunch of content, that should be going on for IT support, and also with the live streams. I've currently been coming on, I want to say every single day for 36 days so far. And I've done this previously with web dev, where I was on live and currently documenting the whole entire journey for 200 days. So that's about 7 months. So it's pretty lit here. Like, I'm someone who really is just deeply motivated and just wants to encourage people that you could just do it too, man. Because too many people count themselves out. It's literally their mind. And like, I used to do it for myself a lot. But once I learned how to code and I did JavaScript, bro, I was like, bruh, I could do anything I put my mind to. Like, you don't gotta be the smartest person in the room, but when you teach yourself something like that, that's difficult, that hurts daily, hurts mentally daily, like, you just feel so much better. You really feel like you could just do it. That's pretty dope, man, that you're making a website and that it's gonna be deploying soon. That's what's up. That is what's up. I hope your website does well, man. Truly. Truly, truly, truly. So we gotta do party options. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the grind and supporting the grind. Y'all are super amazing. Cause man, like I just be going and trying to learn all this stuff. So Clonezilla is a free open source. I'm just gonna write down some of these websites that they are talking about if I ever. I probably don't need to know any of this now, because now that I'm thinking about it, there might be new websites later down the line. That's the one thing with IT that I like, but that a lot of people don't like, is that when it comes to IT or anything tech, it's like there's always something new. There's always something new that you gotta end up doing. And I personally like it. I like to learn a lot. I'm gonna go and look for do some job hunting right now. So you said you have gained a subscriber in me. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for hitting that sub button. I am going to be looking up for some help desk. Help desk tickets. Actually, do they have that? Oh no, we'll look that up later. We'll look that up later. Let's do help desk, or not even help desk. Let me do IT support. Job offers remote, because I don't want to do in person, because obviously I don't want to be showing in person of everything, but I will hop back to the main screen. I just want to look first, because sometimes they be trying to out me. They be trying to show my address. I'm like, well, what's going on? So I got to make sure this stuff looks good. So we're on Indeed. This is a lot more jobs, and I think that's what was screwing me the other day. So let's go and hop into this live. So now we're going to be looking at some applications, because currently I personally want to, I feel like, I personally want to, like, what is it called? Look at what they are offering and what they are possibly asking for, and kind of just see how everything is going and how everything is looking. So this is, we might have looked at this. It says be among the first 25. Sometimes we look at the same ones because they put the same type of applications at the top. But let's just see how or what they want me to get into. So they got some project collaborations, support ongoing improvements and deployments, Salesforce, NetForce, Boomi, Airbase, sorry. Airborse, what the hell? So 2 to 4 plus years of IT experience and help desk or IT support. Experience in Azure. I do gotta write some of this stuff down. I have looked up Microsoft 365 because my goal is to, oh wait, I forgot. I always leave this camera on. But my goal is to pretty much make sure that I'm learning everything on the side of it, because they want you to know about Microsoft 365, and some companies want you to know about Azure, AD, or Entra. So I gotta make sure that I do end up doing a bit of research for each one, because when I do start applying to some of these companies, with your resume, you want it to kind of match what they are specifically looking for some of these companies, right? So you could probably even do like a brief overview and be like, you got experience in on kanji, what the hell? I don't know. On kanji or something. And that could be, something. Slack admin experience, basic Salesforce user experience, PowerShell or Bash scripting basics, fundamental networking knowledge. I really can't wait to get into the networking side of things. That's going to be like the career killer, man. That's just going to simply be the wave. Success measures first 90 days, so handles everything. Salary range is about 65 to 85, so I think that's about like 40 to maybe 30 something an hour. That could be a little bit too high. Who knows? And that's not a bad position. It's not a bad position. It looks like they're probably looking for someone that's a little bit more advanced, even though it says entry level. But that's alright. This one's Washington, D.C. I feel like I keep reading the ones from Washington, D.C. This is a help desk technician for $66,000 as well. It's hybrid working arrangements. Remote work up to $85 a month for mobile and internet. Oh, they reimburse you. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. It says you're welcome to work remotely in the USA. Your responsibilities will include serve as the first point of contact for some users seeking technical assistance, in-person messaging, and ticketing. That's not too bad. 4 years of help desk. Oh, here's where it gets a little bit more into some systems. They got the AV. I don't know if that's the Azure system. Probably not. The AV systems. And then Microsoft Azure, which we kind of wrote down, and MDM administration. I don't know what the hell that is. But at least we're going to be able to write this down and kind of look at what we need to look into. They already have Jira here. I've looked up Jira before. We gotta look at Slack. I feel like when it does come to some of the ticketing systems, though, is that it's quite similar. So it's like, I feel like if you already know one ticketing system, you should know at least the other ones to an extent. Not perfectly, but just to an extent. That's not too bad. Every time I move my phone a little bit, that pops up on the screen. This damn charger. So it says will be added bonus if you are able to exhaust all possible scenarios within their access level when attempting to resolve any issues, competitive salaries, hybrid. This isn't bad. This is non-applicable, so they don't really, I guess, care about which one you're at. These positions. Oh wait, you know what? I keep forgetting to. I don't know if this is a remote because it said hybrid, but I feel like you could kind of fight for it with some of these positions. Just fight for it. At least try. You never know if you talk to these people and if they sit there and they want to recommend you to others. So definitely try. Um, this has FLAs. Oh no, I thought that was another system. Oh, Office 365. Is Office 365 the same as Microsoft 365? I think so, right? Familiarity. Whoa, can't even speak. Familiarity. Brother, I know how to say this word. Familiarity. Something like that. AWS and AppStream is a plus. Yeah, so there's certain applications where you want to get familiar with certain things other ones don't care for. I cannot wait to get a bachelor's degree in IT. I haven't enrolled yet, but I do know this website that you could kind of, it's like an advanced program where you can kind of get a 4-year bachelor's degree in way less, like in a year or two. It's a pretty lit place that you could go to. It's industry standard or industry recognized. So it's not like they could be like, oh, you got this in 2 years. No, this isn't a degree. They don't even care. And if they do care, they're weird. They're weird. Familiarity with this, and I normally don't see too many jobs asking for this, so I don't think that's something you would need to have, but it's definitely nice if you want to get picked. The ITIL Foundation Certification, CompTIA or equivalent. I like that. It's for about $20 to $24 an hour. That's not too bad, and the position is fully remote. I wonder how much people applied to this. Over 200 people. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. But it's still worth a shot. It's still worth a shot. You could possibly, I guess, try to pop out. Wait, am I on that one? I think Convo, I've been reading Convos. This is Lenza, fully remote as well. Let's see what Lenza is looking for. It kind of looks similar to the last couple ones that I have been reading. This position will be part of the provider clinical service desk. All candidates will have a shift flexible, or will have to be shift flexible. Oh, that's tough. I'm not shift flexible at all. I could only do, cause I already work my main job, so this would be tough to kind of add this in. But hey, listen, we could probably negotiate during the day shift hours. I should be able to do that. I kind of do work night shift, but it's not, like I work night shift, but it's not night shift. Like it goes into the night, but it's kind of like my whole day be gone. This is help their customers such as Epic, Kerner, McKesson, Meditech. Incidents may include, but are not limited, workflow issues, application errors, okay, ensure quiet, private workspace with high speed, travel up to 10% of the time. You thought. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, if it's only 10%, I might, as long as y'all pay for me to get there, I might be down. I might just be down. Who knows? Who knows? Minimum of 4 years service desk help desk equivalents. Experience. It's not too bad. So there's a couple more jobs here that I definitely wouldn't mind applying for. I don't know if I've kind of ran into some of these. I feel like some of these are a little bit newer, which is great. Even though it says like a week ago, I feel like I didn't really see them until now. And this one also is 401k, dental, life, medical. It's not bad. Joining the junior IT support team. Like I said, the only scary part is I really would prefer part-time, but I don't know if these guys would be down for it. But there's just so much positions that I could apply for. I might as well just hop in and go and do that. But, I mean, now we've looked at a couple of jobs. I feel like from here, let me go and see and look back at what necessarily we were just taking some notes on. We finished the SSD cloning. I think there was one more thing we got to get into, which oh yeah, the backups and images and imaging I want to look into, which I don't really, like I said, know how they want me to find any of this. But we're going to have to do my own thing. So data backups involve copying files, safekeeping, easy retrieval, while system imaging, disk imaging, I guess, are the waves. So we're going to have to go in here and take these notes. I normally don't like to go through the AI section, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult for them to really find the best place. Like it's hard to find a good website. That's why I like the fact that I'm taking, so much good notes right now, because I'm able to do this. You said, what experience do I have in IT? I actually don't have no experience as of yet. That's why I'm currently trying to look for, I guess, beginner basic IT support positions or help desk positions. and kind of just end up applying. I'm even plan on applying for positions I probably don't even qualify for, because there's plenty of times where for people they've applied to positions like that, and ultimately those people would either like them or they would think, they have potential, and they'll probably send them to another company or even vouch for them to another company to go and hire them in that position. So I want to say the only IT experience that I do have is at my school. They did offer a internship class, like back when I was in high school. There was an internship class, and that class was IT, and I believe we did that for about 3 to 4 months, I believe. I'm not sure exactly. I know it was for like a semester that they allowed me to do that for. And pretty much I would just go in there and we would do a couple of things with the students' badges. And we will also make sure that the computers were connected to certain students' names. So, you know how each student had their own laptop. I made sure to have to do that. And then I think there was like another thing we had to do. I forgot what it was. I believe we were rebooting the BIOS. Like we're restarting the BIOS or something. I remember we had to go into the BIOS, click restart, and then that was kind of it. I feel like for the rest of the days it was really repetitive like that. Just certain people who didn't have their badge or their badge wasn't working, and we'll just have to fix it. So I don't have too much experience, but that is something I could put on my resume. I believe it's called like a practicium or something like that. And then another thing is I've done a little bit of freelance work or independent work, I like to say, because I feel like when you say freelance, people assume that you're like working every day. So I don't know, whichever one. But I've done a little bit of independent work throughout this month currently, where I was doing a couple things with the TV and doing things with like networking and trying to fix the TV's network. At my current job, I don't work IT, but I did do a couple of IT tasks with printers in particular. So I have a lot of experience with printers and when printers, aren't working and how to get them to work. A couple of the issues were like the printer's not printing, right? So then I'll have to sit there and, well, I didn't have to, I just did it because I knew I wanted IT experience. I would just do it. And it was so funny because the IT guy like came and he looked at me with so much shock because nobody knows how to fix those damn printers because no one just takes their time out of their day to try. And so I just did it, and he was sincerely shocked. I was like, damn. I guess nobody does it, but that's really the only experience that I do have. It's a little bit of like, I'll say like a month of independent or freelance work, and then about 3 months of an internship, which I don't know if you could call it that because I took it while I was in high school, and it wasn't like a job. We just did it with the IT guy, if that makes sense. So I'd probably just call it like a practicium, a hands-on practicium, and pretty much that's really all I got. So I think I have enough to kind of land a help desk role, like confidently, like a help desk role or an IT support role. And then I know so much about hardware, which is why I need to get more into like lab work because I want to like sit here and build PCs and stuff like that. And I feel like if I could do that and I have some good lab work and I do that for people by like repairing their PCs or adding PC parts, like their RAM, whatever, I believe I could probably jump help desk and kind of go into tier 2, which I believe tier 2 is a little bit more hands-on depending which job you're kind of looking at. And I would prefer to be tier 2. I don't really like the idea of help desk. I think it's a little bit more easier because, with help desk, you're really just kind of hopping on the phone, solving basic issues, and then if it gets too hard, try whatever you think and then just send it somewhere. With tier 2, you're kind of the one that needs, like, you still have someone you could send it to, which is tier 3, but it shouldn't be that likely that all of them are always getting sent to tier 3, so you're kind of doing the actual work of it. And I think that's where it makes it fun. But they might make me still start in a help desk role just because I don't really have work experience, which isn't too bad to start with. I think I could jump really quickly to the next part, hopefully. Who knows? So we got what it saves, specific files. Hold on, because I'm gonna need to write this a little bit differently. I'm gonna have to put data backups specifically here because I don't have too much space on my notebook to write all of that. So we're gonna do the purpose, and I guess it's just probably something like this. And we're just gonna keep particularly this part about the data backups, and then we'll come back for the system imaging. which should help me. But no, yeah. I really hope everything just goes well though. I think I could do it. I don't have too much experience on my hands. I do need to become experienced, and currently too as well. I didn't really learn anything until particularly 36 days ago. So everything that I know about IT, especially even like the parts of hardware inside of a laptop and building a laptop, are things that I've learned literally 36 days ago. Like it's crazy, or in 36 days. So it's crazy how much you could really learn about things, even when, pretty much wait, why am I writing it like this? I don't know why I wrote it like this, but it's okay. But there's just so much that I've ended up learning. I was just so interested. I wish I had more time in my day though, because if I did, y'all, I would be goated. But it's okay. At the end of the day, you just gotta keep going hard, keep pushing, keep grinding. I just, really hope and pray that I could get there. Just trying to learn everything that I can. Simply. And I can't wait to even get into the ideas of like trying to test myself with actual help desk tickets. That's gonna be fun. But I really want to just put my all into it. So if you're someone who's learning IT support and you're currently, you're currently trying to, I guess in a way, I don't know how to explain it because I feel like I see a lot of people who say, "Oh, I got my CompTIA A+," but they don't really document the journey of themselves getting it. Or they'll be like, "Oh, I did this," but they didn't really show it. If you're looking for someone who's going to show literally everything that they do in a particular place or a particular company or whatever that they're trying to learn, this is definitely the place to be. Definitely, because I will be showing y'all literally everything that I get into. If I failed the CompTIA A+, I don't care. I will sit there and make a video about it. Too many people, they get afraid to kind of show those sides of things, but it's just relatable. It's just relatable. People, they want to see that type of relatability, and then when you pass, they want to see you pass, So I feel like I just can't wait to show y'all everything that I'm doing here, man. And I've documented, that web dev series for 7 months. So I'm not just someone who's like yapping it up and I'm not really about it. Like, no, I am. Trust me, I am about it. I really would sit here and just do this forever, bro. Like, I love this type of content or this type of like learning. So we got that side down. I could try to write it here for system imaging, but I guess let me try to write it like super small because I got small handwriting anyway, but I've currently been trying to teach myself to write bigger. Just because if I were to ever have paperwork where I need to physically write something, well, I would hope a lot of it could just be printed. But if I ever need to physically write something, y'all aren't gonna see whatever the hell I'm writing. I have terrible handwriting, man. So we got copy, image. But thank y'all for tuning into this live stream and just chilling with me, joining me. We had a couple of new subscribers this live stream. That's super dope. So happy that you guys ended up joining this stream. And y'all can definitely catch me tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. EST to 1:30 p.m. EST if you are free, or even watch it after that it's out. Leave a couple of comments. Let me know if that's what you did. I think that would be super dope for me to see. And y'all, yesterday was the first time that I've ever got a donation from somebody. So that was super nice and I'm super thankful for it. I was like so shocked. I legitimately almost like cried. And I know that might be crazy, but it's just because it makes me feel like people are actually seeing, what this journey is, and people are actually enjoying it and seeing, just they could kind of tell that this is just what it really is. It's just somebody who's grinding and really wants to just get there, whether that's in networking, IT support, system admin. Like, they could see that I'm just working as hard as I can to get there, and that was just super amazing to be able to get that donation. It was like a $5 donation. So thank y'all. Thank you to that person who did that. I don't believe he's here today, but man, like, I would never forget my first donation ever. Like, I don't think anyone ever forgets their first donation, because that was crazy. You said, what is my LinkedIn? I don't really give people my LinkedIn because I don't want people to know what my real name is. Just because, YouTube could just be weird, or some people could take it too far. So I don't really like to tell people what my LinkedIn is. I should have had my GitHub up, but GitHub's mainly like for coding and stuff like that. But no, yeah, I don't really like to give people my LinkedIn. Maybe if like this channel were to end up getting to a certain point and it's to the point where people just kind of are able to find my name regardless, then it's a little bit different. But I don't know. I like to keep some of that stuff private because I've seen a lot of people who went through things for some reason, like just because people know what their actual names are and yada yada. I'm like, damn, or they know like what city they live in. I'm like, mm. I'm like, that is crazy. That is crazy. So we gotta go restores the entire system. So then that's good. But man, I just hope that all this works out. Like, I'm just super happy. Everything's just been going super well. And it's kind of to the point where it's like, okay, so then what is the bad thing, you know? Like, what's the bad thing that's gonna happen? Because everything's just been going, like, super well lately with everything that I'm trying to do. And I've just been having, like, a blast with learning, a blast with just all of this. Everything is just amazing. But like I said, everything is very time consuming. I love how that's what I'm writing. But everything is very time consuming because I do work a regular job that is a warehouse job, so it's quite physical. Not too physical, but it's something. And I do work about 10 to 12 hour shifts, and then I come home, or right before work, I end up streaming for about an hour, so I don't really have much time in my day to really focus on, learning. But with the time that I do have, I do try to put in a lot of work to kind of make up for it, and be consistent. Because I feel like consistency is simply key. Truly, like people say that all the time, but like, the person who's smarter or the person who has more time and they kind of get it quicker isn't gonna beat the person that does it every day. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, I'm really, especially because I know I lack the time, the best thing for me to do is really just stay consistent in this learning. Because in the end, it's going to benefit me in the sense of like, I'm going to get to where I want to get to. If I sit here and I decided to be like, you know what, I'm not going to study today, I'm not going to study tomorrow, that's how you get into that loop of just not doing it no more. And so I don't really allow myself to have that opportunity. I'm always studying every day, even if it's not live stream, which is currently I've been live streaming every day as well. But let's say if I didn't live stream, like I still find a way to study at least a little bit outside of live. But it's just most of the time it's probably at work, so I'm not able to really put pen to the paper, but something I'm able to do. So let's close this out here. And Bammers, I wonder if there's anybody who really watches this and they're like already in IT. I wonder if there's some of y'all that are here that like are actually, pursuing the path of IT. Cause I feel like IT is one of the best paths that you could ever go into. But for some reason, a lot of people like to crap on it. Like I was just reading somewhere too, and it was literally this dude. He was like, make sure when you're getting into IT, understand that you're going to constantly have to learn something new. So something that's worked, 40 years ago isn't going to work tomorrow. And so it's always learning something. So he was like, the older he got, he started to hate it. But I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like when you kind of get to that point, when you're a little bit up to date with things, it's like, yes, you're going to always have to be learning something new. But I feel like, doesn't that bring the fun to it? I don't know. I mean, but I've learned a lot in this world that there are a lot of people who are lazy and they would prefer an easy paycheck over putting in the work. Not saying that he's like that. But for me, I think I have so much fun with the concepts and just learning everything. And like, even if something stopped working, the moment, like right before I'm about to take a quiz, and I'm like, oh shoot, they added something new. Instead of the NVM SSD, now they have a MMM SSD, and this one's better, and I haven't took no notes on it. Like, I feel like either way, I think it makes it fun. Especially with me even studying right now, like I'm having a blast with all these new, like with all these things. Well, all of it is new to me because I don't know anything. But I don't know, I just feel like it's fun. Like why would I want a job that's just simple, easy to the point? Like I want something that is going to challenge me a little bit because when it continues to be, well, for one, help desk is quite repetitive, but when it continues to be repetitive, or if you're like building PCs and then you're so used to buying the same exact parts because everybody wants it, like I'm like I feel like that gets a little bit repetitive. Like wouldn't it be a little bit boring? I want it to be where yeah, I'm building PCs, but people are getting different types of PCs because of the expense wise of things. Like I like that. I think it makes it pretty like good or whatever. I know that was probably a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. I'm personally like because I don't see IT or I don't see anything like any type of job except for like a warehouse job where you don't really have to learn anything. You know what I mean? Because even if you're a doctor, it's the same exact thing. There's always something new that you learn that is different than like last year. You know what I'm saying? It's in every job that I feel like that takes a skill. There's just gonna be something new. And if you're not willing to always have to learn something new and keep up, it's like, yeah, you probably are gonna get laid off or be left behind, in particular with these jobs. Like you gotta learn stuff. Um, I don't know. For some reason though, people just don't like that. So I'm gonna put cloud here or a different physical location. I'm gonna just put etc. at that point because we gotta close that out. And then put to protect against local disasters. You said WGU question mark? What is that? Oh, are you talking about the school? I think. If we're talking about the school, I believe that's the place, right? I'm not too sure because I really don't remember what the name of the school was because I don't look at it like every day, but I do look, here and there. I know that there's other programs too, but I believe it might have been that one. I don't know. I would have to see, but I remember seeing it one time, and I was just like, oh, this is pretty dope because they have a couple of programs where you can kind of have an advanced degree. You get it a little bit quicker than normal. But if that's the school, yeah, I believe so. I've heard a couple of people who got their accounting degrees from there and they were able to land a job really quickly right after. Um, and different stuff like that. I think it's kind of a dope little place to go to. I know that it's possible, but it's so rare that some jobs are gonna care about where you got it from, unless you're trying to go for like a huge big company. But it's not even the fact that it would be that's the issue. It's just they're probably gonna be looking for schools like Harvard, Stanford, yada yada, right? But if you're going to just a company that requires a degree or wants you to have a degree, I don't think they're going to necessarily care where you got it from. Um, in that sense. I've seen a lot of people too who are talking about that particular school. If that's the one, I'm not too sure. How they were saying that they are hiring managers and they're like they themselves who are hiring people, they themselves don't even look at where you got the degree and how long it's been. So they're like more than likely you're just gonna like you'll be fine. It's gonna pass off as you have an actual degree and it is an actual degree. I believe it's WGU. I believe so. That's a nice little spot to go to. But that's why I feel like if you were to go to that spot, you should want to pregame a lot of your studies. Because if you pregame a lot of those studies, you could end up getting your degree a lot more sooner, which puts you in a lot less debt. But it is a bunch of like quiz taking. So to pass everything, it's a proctored quiz. They really are strict about, I think, if like your computer, like I don't know, it's strange. They're strict about a lot of things. So like if you tried to cheat, like they're gonna see. Like if you're doing something like this, but your mouth isn't moving, like they're gonna know, and they might even sit there and let you think that you freaking like passed the quiz, but then they'll tell you 3 months later after it was watched and be like, yeah, no. So definitely gotta make sure that you're not trying to sit there and cheat, which I don't think anyone should be cheating, especially if you're trying to get a degree. Like work hard, but each class or each section on there's about like 26 of them or 30 of them all requires either an exam or a like a lab. So like some work that you got to do. And I'm like, that's pretty lit. That's pretty lit. but hopefully I could go there for it. Who knows? Excuse me. So now we got the backups and the imaging down. I do want to focus a little bit more on that later, but currently I think that's us finishing module 5. Yes, that is finally me finishing module 5. And currently, I'm gonna jump back here. If you guys have any questions, you could definitely go and ask away because I do got a couple more things I gotta do today. But currently I just finished, which I'm super happy about, module 5, which now means what I need to do is probably focus more on like videos, but now I could stop documenting this hardware section, and that means we could finally get into systems, the basics of the basics of software, and then the basics of networking, y'all. And then once we complete that section, I honestly, I need to see exactly what they're going to be putting in the CompTIA A+. And if it's more of those basics or the stuff that I'm currently already learning, like how I did for hardware and how I'm going to move forward, we might be able to take that CompTIA A+. But if I feel like there's a lot more I need to learn in particular for the CompTIA A+, we could probably wait until like January or February, because I've seen courses that take about 6 months for people to even think that they feel ready for the CompTIA A+. So it kind of scares me. I mean, you don't want to have to retake it, because that CompTIA A+ is about $500, right? $500, but then you pretty much, if you fail, there might be a bundle where you are able to retake it for a discount. But if you fail, and let's say you don't have a bundle now, you are repaying another $500. So you could sit there and spend $1,000 on a quiz because you failed the first time. And I've heard somebody who said that they failed 3 times. I was like, damn, that boy put down money. But granted, I think the CompTIA A+ is 2 exams, so I don't know if he could have failed like 1 exam, another exam. Like, I don't remember exactly what ended up happening for him, but I just know that he failed a couple times. I'm like, nah, if I'm taking my CompTIA A+, like we are passing. We are passing. That's all I could say. Ain't no way I'm gonna sit here and fail that CompTIA A+, but I will be taking y'all along with me. So if y'all want to see, man, what ends up happening, I'm telling you, stick around, hit that subscribe button. Like, I'm documenting everything. I know some people like to see, they like to really see the achievement side of things, right? They want to see the video with the CompTIA A+, but come on, man, like, y'all can't tell me you don't want to see somebody slowly grind up into the career. I feel like we all kind of have that in us when we see people and we're just like, damn, how did they get there? I wish I knew. And they could yap about it, how they got there all they wanted, but it doesn't feel the same until you see someone document that journey. And that's the goal of this channel. It's like there's too many people that get to a certain position and they don't document it. I'm like, come on. Like, people would die to see this, bro. Like, they want to see, because if someone could see it, whether they could see it on live stream or see it on a YouTube video or whatever, then they feel like they could do it too. When you're just kind of talking about it, it's like, to an extent, yeah, you might get some people who feel like they could do it too. But there's gonna be a lot of people that you end up missing because they just feel like you had opportunities that they didn't. Like, for me, I'm not someone who is able to like live with their parents, study as much as they want, don't have to worry about bills. No, like, I'm literally someone who, I do have to worry about bills. I do have a main job that I gotta go to every single day. I work 8 hours, or I'm sorry, 10 to 12 hours a day. And I do that 5 days out of the week. So I gotta go to this job. I gotta go and, pay these bills. I can't just say F this job and just sit back, learn everything, document everything. No, all of this is simply a real life journey of me just showing what I do when I'm, just going through my regular life. But people would love to see this moment. And I feel like with my journey in particular, it's really relatable for people who are a bit more older. I know people around my age, I'm 22 years old, by the way. People around my age, 22 and younger, they kind of do have that ability to be with parents and not have to really pay bills, which I think is still great. Use that opportunity, grind away, right? Try to get into a career. But the people who feel like their life is like over with because they did have to grow up early and they did have to start paying bills and they did have to start doing this, I feel like this is also a place for them as well. Like, not only, is it for the people that still are currently studying, but mainly too the people that like feel like their days are just so busy. It's like, bro, my day is truly busy. Not saying that we all have the same exact days, but my days are busy as well. But I know there's some people who have kids, which it could make it even tougher. But I don't have kids, so that we're good there. We're good there. But other than that, I've always got something to do. But glory to God that I find joy in being busy. I find joy in having responsibilities. I find joy in learning wherever I can. And I just gotta keep pushing. Just gotta keep pushing. So I hope that y'all believe in me too. Hope y'all be praying for me. Hope y'all just believe that I could get there too, man. And definitely hit that subscribe button. Join this journey because like bruh, we're gonna get into so many different things here. Building PCs, taking apart PCs, upgrading PCs, and whenever I do get into like freelance work, if the person that I'm working with feels comfortable, I want to document that as well to show y'all exactly how that works, how much I possibly get paid for it. But if they don't feel comfortable, then I can show you independent work or lab work, stuff that I do at home. Because I would love to buy a Switch or buy someone's home lab and kind of play around with it, build my own home lab. When it comes to like networking, I know help desk, you could do a little bit of a ticketing system. I want to build that, show y'all how to do it. And just, the whole goal is to just really show everything. And then in the end, after all of that, after showing y'all everything, me getting into everything, in the end, the goal is to pretty much make my own course for you guys. And I'm going to be making all the websites for you guys as well. So it's not like you're using another person's website. Nope, you're going to be reading my website that I created. That should hopefully be able to teach other people back, like obviously not you guys in particular, because you guys probably already know IT support or already know what you're studying for, but the people before y'all, the people that are going to be coming up into IT after I feel like I learned a good amount to start teaching people. I think it's going to be pretty lit. It's going to be pretty lit, man. And I have just so many goals, so many thoughts, but the thing is I'm not one of those people that throw thoughts out there and it never happens. No, I'm the type of person, when I say it, I know what's going to happen, because I would have never said it, because you know how embarrassing it is to say you're going to do something and you don't do it. Now, I'm not saying if it's going to perform well, because that's different. Now, if I say I'm going to make courses and everyone's going to love it, all right, now I'm kind of putting something out there. But I know I'm going to make courses in the future, and make my own websites for it. It's just about that performance. Hopefully it does well. Who knows? But ultimately, too, I want to be able to give people value. I don't even care if it's one person who took that course. And if they were able to land an IT support job from it, bro, I would feel like super happy. And I would make courses on web dev, but I just feel like with web dev, I personally don't feel confident with web dev. Like, I don't feel too confident enough to make courses. It wouldn't feel right in my soul to try and make a course to teach somebody on how to land a career when I only made it a side hustle. You know what I mean? So I like to be real as well. I just can't do it for that, because unless I made that a career, unless I started making hella dough from this side hustle. But I just want a couple $100. That's all I want. I don't really want nothing too crazy. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for enjoying the stream. I love y'all. Y'all are super goated. I do gotta go. I gotta get this TV fixed up. By the way, if y'all have any ideas or anything for like merch or anything, y'all can definitely hit me on my Discord or on my Instagram if you followed it. And let me know if y'all follow me on Instagram, because there's a couple people there that I don't really like to accept everybody, because I don't want people from my real life following that Instagram and they be trying, so I don't know who to accept and who not to accept. So let me know. But catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.